How's it going, guys? Rendall here. We're looking to be doing some dungeons today back on the Dark Knight. I've done a lot of work with the Dark Knight. As you can see, I've gotten him all the way up to level 51 right now. We're about to go do the Dusk Vigil, which is the first dungeon of Havensword. I've unlocked a couple of the other dungeons, Psalm Isle and the Array as well, going through Havensword so far as my Summoner slash Black Mage. And my Dark Knight's been trailing behind. I've been trying to get through Havensword as fast as possible in order to get ready for Stormblood. And I've been wanting to play the Dark Knight here. I've run into several dungeons where I've just had like bad tanks, and then it's not good when you have a bad tank at the DPS when you're constantly pulling aggro. And then as my Dark Knight here, I did a couple more runs last night running through some of the older dungeons to get into level 51 so I could do the Dusk Vigil today for the videos. I've actually had bad DPS. It's like we were doing the Wandering Palace last night, and we had a monk that he wouldn't take down the spears. He refused to take down the spears on the first boss, and so we wiped like 5 times on the first boss before finally our healer was like, "Look, dude, take down the fucking spears," and was actually able to get through it. But hopefully that does not happen again. But I don't believe... No, there's no mechanics like that in this dungeon we're about to do anyways. Which is actually a fairly long query time for a tank. We're at 2 minutes and 20 seconds right now. It's weird. But that's the plan for today. We're going to be doing some dungeons. Do at least the Dusk Vigil. Depending on how much we level, I might run it again off camera. Or maybe run a Palace of the Dead run or something off camera to hit level 52, I believe it is. Yeah, wrong button. 53. So, I mean, I might get to 53 and then do a second dungeon here. Some Isle, whatever you want to call it. And put it in the same video here, just depending on how long this dungeon run takes. But I'm going to cut out the rest of the wait time and I'll see you guys in the dungeon. Alright guys, we're back. We're in the dungeon here. It looks like we're going to have us a Black Mage who's viewing the cutscene, a Dragoon, and a White Mage healer with us, so should be pretty good. Now the Dragoon did a lot of the AoE damage because there is a lot of parts in here where you need a lot of AoE. The healer with Holy can also help out on that. And then we'll have the Black Mage for that massive single target damage, which is quite nice. And it looks like the Black Mage, or not Black Mage, the Dragoon has the Kana weapon there. I'm about 90% sure that you don't pronounce that as a Kana weapon, but that's what I call it. Let's see. Apparently, Strix always gets this dungeon. Right, I'll wait for Stone Skin. I'll be nice. Alright, let's go. Like this dungeon, it's not a very difficult dungeon. I've ran it a few times as my Summoner and my Black Mage. I have not ran it yet as a tank, so we'll see how this goes out here. Get out of that AoE. Just run around, give everybody full aggro combo. Just swap straight into our Soul Eater combo here. Put Scourge on that one, put Scourge on this one, because everybody's focusing the middle one here. Appraisal. Yeah, that AoE. And right now, there's nothing too crazy. Just taking care of trash mobs. There's a good chunk of aggro on here. I don't know if I can interrupt. No, stun has no effect. Okay. One thing I can say as a tip for any new tanks is to look on the internet and find yourself an aggro meter, because that is actually extremely useful. I use a ACT, but just the tools that they give you, I mean, I didn't see it as enough to be able to hold aggro and everything correctly and know what I'm holding aggro on. And basically all of the one I got does is it pulls up, like, for some reason you guys can't see it in the video because it just doesn't show up. But it basically just takes all their stuff that they give you and it puts it in a number form. So you ain't got to sit here and guesstimate, you know, have I hit this guy enough lately? Is someone about to take the aggro off of it? You can just tab through your targets here and be like, oh yeah, everyone has plenty of aggro. No need, and you know, I can still under my single target damage. I don't need to use my aggro combo. And usually, except for on these guys, because they just kind of like pop down on top of you, I'll open up just like most other tanks will. Oh, okay, good. I was actually able to interrupt that. Yeah, and it's you open up with your unmend here. If there's multiple, go into unleashed, and sometimes that can be free too, which is always very nice when it is free. But I'll go and then check it, get enough aggro and everything. And then just go straight to the Soul Eater combo. And I mean, it helps the tank out because it helps you keeps your health topped off, helps the tank out that way. Pop my defensive cooldowns when I need to. Oh, we lost one. Get over here. This has kind of been a bad pull. Losing that aggro right there. I don't know if it was the Dark Knight, or not Dark Knight, but the Black Mage just targeted the wrong guy, or if I don't know if I messed it up, but something happened there. We lost aggro on that one. Wound up being a bad pull. But it's just something that's going to happen. As a tank, you're going to lose aggro at some point. There's going to be a bad pull. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I know when I first started tanking, I used to feel like I wasn't doing my job right. You know, and I'd lose aggro. And I mean, technically, you're really not doing your job right if you do lose aggro, especially consistently. Like if you just cannot hold aggro. But I mean, every now and then, we're human. You're gonna mess up. So I mean, it's one of those, you know, something that you just come get used to after a while. It's like we're missing. They got it. It's like you don't want to lose the aggro, but you know, it's going to happen at some point. You're gonna mess up a pull, or somebody's gonna pull a few extra mobs that wasn't supposed to be in that pull, or your Black Mage is going to target the wrong enemy. You know, something is going to happen at some point, and you're going to wind up losing the aggro. So I mean, it's not something that you want to like beat yourself up over. I mean, it's going to happen. Pop a defensive cooldown here. Get out of this AoE. Come back in, hit him with Scourge. Hit him with Delirium. And we don't have a monk. And I honestly don't know if he actually has any magic damage or not, but I mean, we're gonna do it anyways. Not park, but use Dark Passenger there for a little extra damage. Pop another defensive cooldown. I guess that would technically be defensive. Yep, I cannot interrupt that, and I'm going to get hit by it. It's all good. So I guess that Rory did there with technically, I guess that would be magic damage probably. So yeah, keeping Delirium up will help with that. Pop another defensive cooldown. I think Delirium fell off of him as he was right before he used that ability. That sucks. Yeah. But it's okay. It's like nobody's really taking any damage aside from our Dragoon. Our Black Mage is taking some damage, but he's a Black Mage. They do that. They keep their feet planted. I don't know why he is. Sorry, he drops aggro. And I hate bosses to do that. It makes it a pain. We learn I can't interrupt that, so we gotta get the hell out of it. So that means we can just throw our taunt in there for extra damage, whatever you want to. Accidentally popped Bloodbath, but it's alright. Help the tank out, the healer out a bit. That up on him. Dark Arts this one. More damage. Alright, now we go. First boss. Mammoth here. Easy. What do we get? I don't know if that's actually better than what I'm wearing or not, but it's quite possible that it is. And out of all the times I've ran this dungeon, I have yet to really get anything for a class that I'm actually fucking playing. So I'm going to need it, because I'm getting something. For once. Oh, the Black Mage just used Flare. For anybody out there, oh, we got something. You. Where'd you come from? But anyways, I don't know where that guy came from. But for anybody out there that's playing DPS, which I mean, I believe the last time I looked, somebody said that the stats was that basically over half of the people, like 60% of the players in Final Fantasy plays DPS. So if you're in that 60%, your AoEs in Final Fantasy are not worth it unless there's 3 enemies. Minimal of 3 enemies. And they've got math on the internet. I mean, you can just look it up. People done the math and they'll prove it to you. They figured out the potency cost, you know, all this. It's quite interesting actually to see how they figure all that up. But I mean, it's according to the math though, unless there's 3 enemies, it's not worth it. And low mana. Damn it, there's another one of those fading souls. Where are these guys coming from? Get over here. Get our aggro here because we're about to lose aggro on that guy. Now we got it back. Go to the Scathe. Not Scathe, but Scourge. Scathe, Black Mage. It's like their only instant cast ability. Yeah. Stick with the Delirium combo. No point in using a defensive cooldown, they're mostly dead now. One thing that I should have been doing in that one, but I didn't for the simple, mana issues on there, was that when you have at least 3 enemies, you want to be using Dark Passenger on cooldown. Just for the simple fact that it saves you a lot of, well, it's a lot of free damage, basically, is what it is. See all these guys. I think I got all of them now. Here they're using Holy. Throw out another Unleash. Another Unleash here. Alright, there we go. Oh, our choker is now at 0%. We need to get that fixed. And there he goes using Flare again on 2 targets. I don't know what that one was. Pretty sure it wasn't Flare. Alright. Okay, we got max MP, which is going to be very nice. And we're also out of Dark Side, so let's go into Dark Side here. We're going to want that extra damage. Get these through here. Pop our cooldown. There should be more coming. It's either in this one or the next room, where you just get like surrounded, like there's a seismic shit ton of them. I mean, it's not bad because like they die pretty easily, but there's a lot. It's actually kind of, as a summoner, it's awesome. Come on. There we go. Alright, boss fight. This guy's actually not very difficult at all. It's just dodging AoEs and managing the ads is all there is to this one. Basic boss fight mechanics, pretty much. So like none of the boss fights in this dungeon is really too complicated. I mean, like the hardest mechanic is on the last boss, the Sphinx, and it's basically hide behind some rocks when you need to, and that's pretty much the extent of it. Now this guy does quite a bit of magic damage, so we're going to try and keep Delirium on him at all times. Pick up the ads. We about fell out of dark side there. Not something you want to happen. Stuns down, got AoE. Walk back into the AoE apparently. No greed. I already possessed that one. But pass on that one since I already have it apparently, or I've already gotten it this week, one of the two. Move on to the next area. But as you can see, the first boss fight, real easy. Not that bad. I kind of want to keep him centered in the center of the room there. It's like I kind of messed up on that and I kept getting hit by the knockback. That way, especially if you have like a black mage like we did in that party, because it's his AoE. And you want to keep the cone faced away from the black mage while the others and your other DPS, as well as you want to try and keep the black mage particularly inside of the inner circle there. Because the less your black mage has to move, the more damage they can do. The more damage your black mage can do, the more damage it goes, it's just more damage. Pop the defensive cooldown. Get our aggro combo going. And as you can see, I'm going through using Unleash and then using the first two, it's the hard slash spinning slash, and then power slash I use on a completely different target. And for those of you that don't know, that's how you maintain aggro and multiple. Sorry, when you have multiple targets, it's the easiest way. I think that Black Mage is just burning their MP with that flare when they get down to, you know, 200-300, whatever it is. Can't see. Okay. Should I actually have more armor now? I haven't actually put it on. Because it's level 51 armor, and I just haven't wore it. I don't know why. Like I literally, it's in my inventory right now. I'll put it on after this video, or after this dungeon. Because it is better than what I'm wearing. And it was in my armor chest because, well, I couldn't wear it. Because I was at level 51. That was a bit of a rough one. Alright. Alright. Yeah, we're getting real close to the boss fight. I didn't mean to pull that, but it'll be alright. Yep, just keep going through, using your aggro combo, and on the third one, always go to another target with multiple ones. Like if you're feeling like you might be losing the aggro, then just pop over, hit an unleash. Personally, I like to throw Scourge on as well, at least a couple of the targets. When it's 2 or 3 targets, I like to throw Scourge on just for the simple fact that it does help keep the aggro, because it is damage going on, and the more damage you're doing, the more aggro you're getting. So I mean, I do like to put Scourge when I have 2 or 3 targets. 4, sometimes I'll do it, sometimes I don't. And if we're doing big pulls, you know, like a main scenario quest, hard mode dungeons, you know, from Havensword, things like that, I don't hardly ever use Scourge except for on the boss, because there's so many mobs that by the time you actually got Scourge on everything, it'd all be dead. So I mean, it's like if you got 2 or 3 targets, you can go ahead and put it on all of them. If you got a whole mob of targets, you can throw it on 1 or 2. You know, it's no big deal. But it's not all that bad. Fresh Protect. Stone Skin. Alright, we're ready to go. Pop a defensive cooldown, go straight into the aggro one, gives you a good, huge jump on the aggro list. We want to try and keep Delirium and Scourge up at all times on the boss here. We also don't want to try and... well, that one got destroyed. You need to keep an eye out on his cast bar for when he's casting an ability. And we want to try and stay like this ability right here. And we want to try and stay close enough that we can do this. And apparently still get sucked into the damn tornado even though it was behind the freaking rock. Reapply Scourge. Hit him with Reprisal. You always want to use Reprisal when you can. Because that, I mean, that, it's so valuable. That 10% damage reduction. Cooldown. Appraisal. Delirium. Because he actually does quite a bit of magic damage, so you want to keep that up as well. Because once again, it's another damage reduction here, and it looks like our healer. Yeah, I'm getting hit by that. Got sucked up in the tornado. There goes this rock. Dude, damn it. Getting closer to another rock. Here we go. No, okay. Yeah, the trick to this guy is keeping close to a rod. Damn him. Where are they coming at now? Without it destroying your fucking rocks. I think most of us are about to get sucked into this one this time. No, we made it. Oh, our healer did not make it though. Me and the Dragoon made it. I didn't think we were going to be able to, but we actually made it. Pop the defensive cooldown. And there it is. See what we get. Anything good? Conjurer's arm. I don't have a conjurer. Oh, there's pants. I'm gonna look real quick. Oh wow, all of my jewelry's destroyed here. Do I have the pants to go with it? No, I do not. Because there's those. So we will... Okay, well I got the pants by default. Nice. That works. Let's put the pants on. They are better. Alright. Not looking too bad. But that's all there is to that one, guys. It's fairly straightforward, real easy. From a DPS to the healers, I mean, a tank standpoint, that's pretty much a straightforward dungeon. It's not that big of a deal. You know, the giant AoE groups, healers can help out, you know, with the AoE damage. And the giant, you know, the single target damage is pretty much just keeping the tank alive DPS just doing damage. I mean, there's just not really any mechanics aside from the Sphinx there, which you guys saw. All you have to do is get behind the rock. It's not hard. The tornado always goes in the center. As a tank, which I don't know, I could not get that to work for me on this run. But as a tank, all you got to do is position the Sphinx to where his AoEs will not hit the boulders. His big wind AoE blast is a circle, basically, won't hit, boulders, but you can still stand behind the boulders, so you ain't gonna have to do like I was having to do and run from boulder to boulder and boulder and boulder, because that's all that does. I mean, it works, but it makes it harder on your DPS and your healers because they're having to run with you, and the less you can move the boss, ultimately, the better off the whole thing will be. But I don't know what that guy was doing. He just stopped staring at us and just, I don't know. But we'll see you guys next time. We'll be doing the Solemn AI or maybe the Airy, just depending on how high I get leveled and how fast. But I'll see you guys next time. Adios.